Welcome back to my channel, Breaking Bad Goddess. Here we're breaking away from bad thought processes and things that are not good for our self-elevation and well-being. Today's video is going to be a little different. I wanted to discuss mindset a bit and also share with you some books that I have been reading lately, a few that I just picked up and one that I'm in the midst of reading that I'm almost done with. I got a little ways to go, actually, not quite halfway through, but this book is called The Anatomy of the Spirit. Anatomy of the Spirit, and it's by Caroline Myss. I hope I'm pronouncing her name right. It's M-Y-S-S, Caroline, and The Anatomy of the Spirit. This book is a very beautifully written book. She really breaks down the energy centers in our body. In Eastern philosophy, it's known as the 7 chakras. But she talks about them as energy centers that we can use to navigate our lives, especially in terms of self-healing and using this in conjunction with conventional medicine. But in a way, where conventional medicine falls short is that they may be able to cure certain diseases. She talks about actual healing, which she differentiates between curing. Healing is really an inner work, work that you have to do individually, whereas curing really relies on medicine, doctors, other health care professionals, to cure you. But healing is on another scale, and she breaks down the process of healing through our energy chakras. And just for a quick overview, our energy chakras are all over our system, and Eastern philosophy is not the only modality that talks about. Actually, the Catholic sacraments talk about the same thing, these same energy chakras. Christian Judeo religions also talk about it as well. But as far as the Eastern philosophies, they talk about it in terms of the root chakra, the sacral chakra, the solar plexus chakra, the heart chakra, the throat chakra, the third eye chakra, and the crown chakra. And anything below the heart is considered the lower chakras, where root chakra really describes our energy center that involves family, what we're brought up into, loyalty to family, mindsets that are shared among our tribal group, whatever tribal group we come from. And then you're moving up the chakra to the sacral chakra, where she goes into a little bit more depth of the different chakras. What she ultimately tells us is that we are biological creatures that are designed by divinity. A lot of our purpose on this earth is to find our path in the divine way and navigate this path using our divine power. In other words, in a way, we are responsible for our own illnesses and our own well-being. And having that connection spiritually helps in the healing process, especially if part of your journey has been traumatized in early childhood or even as an adult. The healing process comes when you connect to this divine source, this source energy, God, whatever way we like to describe God. It actually doesn't even matter, because that energy source is connected and is within us. Not just our physical well-being, the flesh and blood and bone, but also these energy centers that I've talked about earlier, help us navigate and connect to our higher self, especially as you get into the upper chakras, where you're talking about the heart, the throat, the third eye, and the crown is really where you are at a point where you are really operating on the God level, your connection to this source energy is actually you're able to really manifest a lot of things in your life that you desire, or maybe you'll manifest whatever whatever you're thinking. Wherever it starts in the mind tends to get manifested, but the higher up the level of chakras you go, the more connected you are to the divine. And a lot of this goes through meditation, prayer. A lot of this is really biological, and how our spiritual affects our biology. And if we are in a spiritual crisis, we're usually under a lot of duress physically, whether it's depression, heart condition, headaches, migraines. You really want to look at what is going on a deeper level. What is creating a lot of this this imbalance in your life. And she really goes through this book very thoroughly. She talks about her own intuitive journey into how she even became what she would describe herself as an intuitive, using your intuition, which all it is, your intuition really is your connection to spirit, connecting to spirit, that inner voice that tells you if you go into a room and you're a room full of people and all of a sudden you feel, strange. It's like your intuition is telling you, maybe you shouldn't be there. Maybe you should get out. That is spiritual connection, spiritual intuition, and following that intuition and using that as a way to guide your life and help you manifest the things that you want in life. So it's a very interesting read. I'm almost midway through it. I just find her fascinating. She does have a YouTube channel under her name, Caroline Myss, MYSS, Caroline, CAROLINE. And she's been really, this book is over 20 years old. So she has a YouTube channel, a part 1 and 2, where she breaks down the chakras. From the lower chakras is part 1 of her YouTube, and the other one is part 2, where she shares about the upper chakras, the heart and the throat and the third eye and crown chakras. And she breaks them down beautifully. So I would, encourage you to go and check out her YouTube channel. She is still going strong. She has a lot of insightful information in regards to spiritual healing, and I was really impressed. I've always heard of the chakras. I just never heard them broken down in such a way that and how much they are connected to our physical selves, and how we can use these energy sources to connect to the divine and start the process of healing, which is what we all want. A part of that mindset of really being confident in yourself and understanding all the answers that you're looking for really are coming from within using your own intuition and trusting your own intuition, and understanding that intuition really is your God force, and that connection to that source energy, and it will enable you to really navigate this life in a way that, it takes away a lot of the fear, a lot of problems that you may have experienced, the ability to forgive yourself, and understand that whatever circumstances that may have come in your life, they came there for a reason. They're lessons for you to reach your higher self, or at least connect to your higher self. That higher self is always within you. And some of us are just walking around not really trusting that inner voice, that intuition, because we really don't have a very high opinion of ourselves when it comes right down to it. And so therefore we're not going to trust our own inner intuition about a lot of things. We'll look for validation from other people. We'll want other people to inform us on how to live our lives, what we need to do. But the power has always been, and has always been accessible within yourself. We are made of what the universe is really made of. We are a living consciousness of the universe. And that power source is in us through those chakras and those energy chakras that are in alignment with our bodies. And if we can really understand consciously how powerful we are, really powerful, and how much we can connect with that energy source, you will start seeing some real fast manifestations in your life. You'll understand how powerful you truly are, and that this is not Harry Potter stuff. This is actual real energy and sciences that is supported, and more people are understanding these energy chakras that are pervasive throughout all histories, not just Eastern philosophy, like I said before, but Judeo-Christian philosophies also talk about it. The Christian sacraments are these are the 7 chakras in the Eastern philosophy, and it's just very interesting how different segments of the world really have distilled our energy and our connection to the spirituality of ourselves, have that common theme. And I don't know, I just thought it was very interesting how she broke it down in her book, and how it really has transformed my thinking, and how powerful I really am, not just in words, but really consciously living a purposeful and intentional life in which you can draw energy, strength, and decision making through these chakras, through your own intuition, and how powerful that can make you as a human being, how powerful it can make you in terms of abundance in your life, wealth, happiness, drawing in on the wisdom of using this intuitive energy and connecting with it in a real way to navigate your life. It's just a very powerful thing to be conscious of, and more powerful when you start implementing it and seriously using it as a guide to your life. And it also helps you understand that, the cycle of life, and where ultimately we all will end up eventually after we transition into the next realm. So I encourage you to take a look at this book, The Anatomy of Spirit by Caroline Myss, and also a book that I also picked up. I haven't read yet. I just picked it up, actually, of all places, Five Below. And this is called Chakras and Self-Care. I haven't read this one yet, but this is by Ambi Kavanaugh. It's another book that I tend to look at. So yes, that's my video for today. Enjoy. So let me know if you've read any of these books or any other books that talk about spiritual connections, the chakra, energy systems, or anything that has to do with mindset and connecting to our higher selves. I'd be interested to, understand everyone else's perspective on this. I just find this topic very fascinating, and I like to explore even deeper a lot of these Eastern philosophies and how they overlap in the Christian Judeo religions, and how in many ways they're all very similar. So anyways, that's my video for this week. Tune in next week, where I kind of want to talk a little bit more in depth about the anatomy of spirit, maybe take a chapter or so and really break down one of the chakras and talk in more detail about that and how it really connects with our higher spiritual self. So stay tuned for that, and thanks for watching.